Hi folks, Paul here. This is a tale of two Enviromower batteries. This is the first one I built just over a year ago, and it worked fine in my Enviromower. It's like a 2000 watt motor. It drains over 100 amps from the P12 battery pack. I'll just show you. So it's exactly the same as this one that I was showing in the previous video. This is the new one, this is the old one. This one worked fine for a whole year, and then its capacity is starting to fade, so I need to build a new one. And I was kind of amazed that it worked for as long as that. I was also amazed that it was able to deliver enough power, given that it's a P12 S7 battery pack. So each cell is being asked to deliver peak at peak 9 amps, which is way over the top. And when I built this, I thought it was an experiment to see if it would work. I was very careful to select cells that were low internal resistance and reasonably high capacity. So I picked my best cells that I had. I had like several hundred cells, and these were the cream of the crop. And it is still, where are we? Still, oops. Still working pretty well. The voltages are all in the right ballpark. It needs a charge. These days when I use this, it will run the mower quite happily for about 5 minutes and then get more and more weak. So it's been used and abused, and I'm quite happy with what I got out of that. So this is the new one that I had problems with last week, and I repaired it, gave it back to my neighbour who I'm doing this for, and another group has gone bad. And it's saying, hang on a second, it's saying 0 volts, 4.8, which is terrible, 4.8, which is terrible, 4.7, 4.8, 4.0, 5.5, what the hell? This pack is turning into a disaster. So, let's unplug that. One of the lessons that I'm learning from this exercise is that this first battery that I made was actually very, very lucky that it worked as well as it did. And I think I fluked a good selection of cells, whereas this time not quite so lucky. So here we go. I can see melted duct tape here and here, so things are not looking good, and it may be that I have to abandon this whole pack because it's so bad. What a bummer. Let's measure some voltages with the meter and see if it's really as crazy as it says it is. So from there to there is 3.9, and I think that is group, that is, right. Oh, that's group 1 there, so that's group 5, which this was saying was 5 volts. So these are cheap and crappy, and you can't trust them. I trust my multimeter more. There's signs of overheating here, melting duct tape there. When I measure the voltage, it's actually a reasonable 3.9. If I measure across, this is two, that's one group, this is 2 groups. So that should be 7.3, that sounds reasonable. 7.8, which is in the right ballpark. And 3. So one of these has died. That looks alright. Those fuses look okay. So something bad has happened in here. It's possible that I've had another venting incident. And there's a bit of a smell. Yeah, there's a bit of a smell there. So this is turning out to be much more exciting than I was hoping for. Let's cut this open and see what we can find. Actually, I'll cut it loose. I'll solder it loose first. Oh man! Well, what the hell is that wire? Oh my god. So, the fuses are blown. That looks pretty ugly there. Once again, venting. So I think in the last video I was speculating about a possible short. Now that we've got exactly the same looking result, I think it wasn't a short, it was just overstressing the batteries. So this has been a great experiment in discovering the boundaries of what you can do with recycled laptop batteries. And it turns out all those people who said you can't use them for 9 amps, that's way too much, you are absolutely correct. And this is kind of what happens when you try to do that. Once again, I've got to say, the fact that that vented right into the arse end of this other cell in a confined space and didn't, I don't think it's even close to causing major damage to this cell. However, if I didn't have the fuses, if I didn't have a scenario whereby it got electrically disconnected the moment it goes thermonuclear, then I could have a situation where this one then blows that one, which blows that one, and so on. So once again, I am very happy that I did the fusing. Curiously enough, with this very first battery that I did, no fuses. And what does that mean? What conclusion can you draw from that piece of information? Is it the fact that the other fuses blew and this fuse didn't blow and therefore it vented? Or did this overheat and then short, causing the fuses to blow? That is something I don't know. I don't know which way around the cascade of failures occurred. Well, this is a real bummer. I think I have to abandon this whole battery and start again. What a drag. But it certainly doesn't look good. So that went bad. Something was... if that is getting hot, that probably means this... Does it mean this cell here is getting hot? I don't know. But it's... badness was happening there as well. So it's all bad. But fascinating as well. You've got to admit that. Bad and ugly, but instructive. So, oh well, thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Cheers. Fuck me. It was sitting on the bench after I've disassembled it, and it caught on fire. Fuck me. Wow. Oh, man. I was in the process of desoldering the connection wires and had just finished when one of them took off. Wow, that was interesting. So here's one piece of notepaper. Here's the burn mark. There's my lovely screwdriver. No, that's okay. Whew. Wow. don't know what to say really. I'm glad I was sitting here watching it when it went off. Right, okay, I'm just going to move all the remains outside onto the concrete. Now I've got a nice little burn mark on the carpet to remind me. I'll just put on some gloves. That's still hot. Okay. Well, I guess when you push the cells to the limit, or beyond the limit, you're really pushing your luck. And that'll be the result. That was just my notes. Oh, I've lost my notes, my list of things I'm supposed to do. Well, I think I've come off remarkably well, all things considered. That could have been a lot worse. I just didn't have any luck with this battery at all. Oh man. Just to reiterate about all these cells, the nice thing, all the safety features that I've got running on here are designed to not stress the batteries. So we've got cell level fuses, we've got it never charging up to beyond 4 volts. It's never the cells are never being discharged beyond half an amp. Well below half an amp, probably more like 1/4 of an amp per cell. So they're never overstressed like what was happening in this battery. So the theory is that I won't have a problem like that with these cells. So a bit of excitement like this is really good for clarifying where the parameters are and what happens if you try to push them too far. Okay, so it's a few hours later. I've calmed down a bit. So here's what I think happened. I disassembled that battery, pulled it apart and dumped the rest of it on the bench, and that was my mistake. I should have been a lot more careful how I was placing it and making sure that there was no opportunities for shorts, which I think is what happened. I just plonked it down there. I was thinking more about the bit that I'd separated. So it shorted, sat there. I finished the video, and was stepping away when it vented, caught fire, and was burning on the beach here. So I chucked it on the ground, thinking that that would be slightly less chaos on the ground than if it stayed on the beach. And then the rest of it you saw. So the big picture is I think I'm getting a bit complacent, a bit sloppy. So I need to take things a lot more carefully, be more deliberate in what I'm doing, and just think a little bit more as I'm going about it. Yes, so I'll keep this as a little memento to try and help me remember those lessons. So now's the time you can comment down below, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Cheers.